Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. We come to you tonight from Father Eckert Field on the campus of Andrean High School as the Region Sports Network presents the RSN number 4 Andrean 59ers taking on the RSN number 8 Lowell Red Devils. I am Max Anderson. I'll have the play-by-play duties for tonight. And joining me with the color analysis is Danny Bell. Danny, good evening to you, and pleasure to be here, and looking forward to a great game tonight.
How are you? Hope you had a good trip out here. We got a little bit of a battle right here that these two have went at it multiple times. This is not a new battle for these two, and they're going to close out the season with a bang, and hopefully we get this game done before the Lightning and the Thunder get here.
Yeah, certainly we'll get into the weather forecast here in just a minute, but weather threatening later. Starting really on the Lowell side of the offense, or side of the page, I should say, on offense, things really start with Riley Bank and for the most part end with him as well. He's the key to their offensive shuttle.
I agree. Senior Riley Bank, he is the heart and soul of this offense. He's got over 1,300 yards rushing already. He's got 600-yard rushing games. If he can get his offense moving early, I think that towards the end of the game, Andrean's going to have a hard time really dealing with that kind of an offense.
16 touchdowns thus far on the year for Riley Bank. He's only attempted 80 passes and completed 35 of those. Doesn't have a touchdown throw, so if it's going to get done, it's going to get down on the ground. And we were talking off air just before the game started with Andrean's defense. Run defense can be a problem for them at times. It's going to be interesting. The strength of Lowell and one of the more bigger weaknesses on the Andrean side on the run defense.
I agree. You know, with Andrean, they have a mixture of defensive lines that they run. They start off with a 3-4, they'll run a 4-4, and they'll do a mixture too with a nickelback. Now, tonight, I don't see them staying in the same set. I'm sure that they're going to have to adjust to the run, but I don't think Andrean has a hard problem doing that with, senior like Drake Bowen leading the team in tackles, one of the better linebackers in the area. He's going to Notre Dame next year. That right there should tell you the talent that the guy has. And with the supporting cast that he has, there's no doubt that he's going to have his work cut out for him tonight.
You mentioned Drake Bowen, which truly segues us perfectly to flip the sides of the field here. Talk a little bit about Andrean's offense, and you mentioned it. Drake Bowen headed to Notre Dame after his senior season. The 6'2", 230-pound running back is an absolute bell cow. 13 touchdowns on the year, nearly 700 yards. They can get it done in multiple ways, can the Andrean offense, but Drake Bowen really gets it started.
He really does. And with that left side of the line, they really hold up well against everyone in the state. I'd put that left side of the line up against a lot of the guys out there. You have multiple studs on this team. You have wide receiver Patrick Clax. Now, I'm telling you this name right now because you're going to hear his name a few times tonight. I see him probably getting 1 or 2 touchdowns the way the matchups are looking. And with Drake Bowen, he's already got 200-yard rushing games. He's not going to have a problem looking to get his third and cement his senior year tonight with another really big game.
You mentioned Drake Bowen. Of course, Patrick Clark's nearly 800 yards of receiving on the season, 8 touchdown catches already through 9 games, or 8 games, I should say. That Andrean offense, 6-2 on the year, 4-0 in the Northwest Crossroads Conference. Of course, Lowell, 5-3 on the year, 3-1 in the Northwest Conference. So this last week before playoffs get started next week for both teams, what are you looking for from each side here that they're going to be looking to accomplish here before they start next week in the playoffs?
Well, knowing Coach Kilmer, he's going to put his foot down and he's going to run forward all night long. He's not one of these guys that's going to come in here trying to make sure his guys are all dressed warm and everything. Coach Kilmer's over there in a pair of shorts ready to rock this out. He is going to have to get that running game going because Andrean's passing game is equally as good as the running game of Lowell.
Now it's time. We want to get to the keys of the game. And the keys for tonight's game are sponsored by Castle Subaru. Stop in and get your keys to a new Castle, a Castle Subaru that is. And what are the keys to tonight's game, Danny?
Well, the key tonight to the game is staying on track with your running game. Both teams are going to have the running backs. Probably there's going to be 2, at least a quarterback, Riley Bank for Lowell, is going to have a 100-yard game. And I think Drake may have one as well. But the key to the game is going to be the defensive backs for Lowell. They're going to need to stop a lot of passing. And the way Drake's been coming out of the backfield lately, the key to the game is going to be stopping Andrean's passing game. If Lowell can do that, they can steal this win right now, and I don't know if it would be calling it a steal.
Certainly here, Andrean's going to have the home field advantage here at Father Deckard Stadium. We mentioned the weather a little bit earlier. That's, I think, an underrated key to this game too, especially for Lowell. So they rely a little bit more on their passing game, Danny. They're going to have to get it done early. If this turns into a sloppy mess, that really favors Lowell's offense.
It really does. And coming here into Andrean, they're on the road, and that's the last thing Andrean wants, is to be behind to a team that runs the ball in the rain.
So the Friday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast, 55 degrees at kickoff. We are expecting rain around 8 tonight and picking up throughout the evening, and the temperature is going to drop throughout the game. So we mentioned it. They're going to have, both teams are going to look to get ahead early before this turns into a sloppy mess, and either team really just going to look to run it out.
I agreed. There's going to be a few moments here tonight, I'm sure, where frustration is going to set in because the weather's going to take play. The wind isn't calm tonight. It's blowing choppy, and it's coming from the south. So you're going to have a lot of wind going from side to side rather than north, goalpost to goalpost.
That's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So we're narrowing in here on kickoff, just about 15 minutes till we kick it off here from Northwest Indiana here in Merrillville.
Andrean fans are still tailgating over there on the side in the parking lot. They're ready to come in, but they don't usually come in until about 5 minutes before.
Quite a few of them right outside the stadium, so we'll see that fill up here in just a couple of minutes. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
Oh, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage.
Schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges. Everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117. Pre-plan for your family's sake.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Before the break, we were talking a lot about offenses, Danny. We want to take a little bit of a look on the defensive side. We talked about one of the keys to the game being how well can Lowell run against this Andrean defense, which at times has had troubles stopping the run. Of course, one of the keys to that's going to be freshman Miguel Rivera, the 5'10", 265-pound nose tackle. He's got a big job tonight.
He does have a big job, but the great thing about having that job, being a freshman out there, is you have 4 senior linebackers right behind you. And one of them just so happens to be Drake Bowen. And I think that with that middle clogging up, and you have Luke on the left and Al on the right, they're both going to hold their own and think that they're going to help out with the stunts with Miguel. But I honestly think that Miguel may end up getting a few double teams that he sheds and then really gets a couple good pops.
Mentioned Drake Bowen defensively, the team leader in tackles. He's got 77 tackles on the season for Andrean. He's by far the leader on the team in that category. Coming in next at 56 tackles is Antonio Barnes. So quite a bit of space between. The importance of Drake Bowen on both sides of the ball for Lowell can't be understated.
I agree. And, you know, one person we didn't mention on Andrean's defense was Jacob Jones. Now, that is the little brother of Billy Jones, an Andrean stud here as well. The Jacob boys, you know, the Jones boys, both of them can play, you know, they're baseball players, they're wrestlers, they're football players. There really isn't much they can't do with, especially as how much their father does his CrossFit and everything. Great family. He's another guy on both sides of the ball this year, or this game tonight, that for Andrean that can honestly have his name called multiple times.
Yeah, a lot of depth there. A lot of good pieces defensively. You mentioned the 4 senior linebackers for Andrean. That is very key. You want an experienced group of linebacker, especially against an offense like Lowell's going to try to do a lot of option play, a lot of misdirection. Eye discipline is going to be really important for this linebacking crew.
I agree. With the 4 seniors, they've been playing together now 4 years, and that's because of, you know, camaraderie right there, and they got a little core going. So they should be fine in helping out with that line and filling those gaps. I wouldn't be surprised to see the linebackers really should step up and show their seniority.
So we're going to step aside, give our mics over to the PA here for pregame festivities. We'll be back on the mics here in just a couple minutes.
Thank you all, and God bless. If you could remain standing at this moment, we're going to go ahead and go into our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous clouds o'er the ramparts we we're so gallantly streaming, and the against red glare, the
Beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. We're going to take a timeout. Come back with football action in just a couple of minutes right here on the Region Sports Network. It's game night, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. City Electric Supply in Valpo is proud to support local athletes on the Region Sports Network. City Electric Supply in Valpo offers LED lighting, generators, tools, electrical supplies, and more. Call City Electric Supply in Valpo at 219-386-3434. That's City Electric Supply in Valpo, the power to supply you.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to game night here on the Region Sports Network. As the Lowell Red Devils arrive onto the field, they jog onto their sideline. The 59ers will join them off of their sideline here shortly. I want to remind you, this broadcast is a production of the Region Sports Network. Any other use, duplication, reproduction, or retransmission of the accounts and description of this contest without the expressed written consent of the Region Sports Network is prohibited. So Danny, we got a minute left on the clock. We're going to have football here in just a moment. Star Spangled Banner done. These teams looking to wrap up this regular season in style and build some momentum towards the playoffs.
You know, watching Lowell warm up, they look a little bigger on the sideline now here, getting a better look at them. They got some size on this team. Andrean's going to have to wear that down.
Captains are gathering at midfield as the 59ers storm the field. To the adoring home crowd, still filing in. See a bunch of people at the gate still coming in. Should end up being a pretty nice crowd, so a bunch of people in the parking lots.
Favorite place to be here in Andrean is in the parking lot.
Looked like quite the time out there, Danny.
Yes, it is. Every year, every game.
Do want to remind you also that, of course, all of the football action going on in the region, you can follow all of tonight's region football scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, streaming on facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Buzzer's going to go off. We'll get the meeting of the captains, and again, we'll start to talk a little bit about the strategy here early on. If you're Andrean, normally defer. That's kind of the default move a lot of teams take. But if you're Andrean tonight, are you taking the ball early here while the weather's still clear? We already had the wind start to pick up.
I want the ball now. That's what Andrean's looking for. They're not worried about it. They want to get the lead really fast, and they want to keep it. There's no other option. The coaches know this. If we know this, the coaches know this.
So we'll take a look. The referee's going to signal here. And Andrean has deferred. A little bit surprised, Danny. Thought we might see them try to take the football, but it will be Lowell on offense first tonight.
Lowell's going to get a chance to put that football right in the hands of Riley Bank.
Riley Bank.
Look at
mentioned
Riley.
earlier.
He's already pretty pumped. You see him out there. He knows he's getting that ball right now. He's just ready to go.
The 6 foot, 195-pound senior quarterback. 189 rushes on the season for 1,328 yards and 16 touchdowns. That is quite a regular season, and we still got one more to play for Riley Bank.
He's going to set the pace right now. Coach Kilmer's already got him ready.
You might see some sparing as well. Owen Thiel will get some carries. He's got 500 yards on the season, a couple touchdowns. So when it's not Riley Bank, you'll see a good amount of Owen Thiel.
You wouldn't be surprised to see Elijah Anderson. He comes around in those reverses, and he is fast.
They're by far their best receiving candidate on the season is 10 of their 35 receptions for 163 yards. I mentioned no passing TDs on the season for Lowell. Completely reliant on the ground.
Definitely on the ground. But with the passing game, it's not that they don't have it, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. You're going to run the ball, and when you run it as effectively as they do, you just stay with it. When you get them 7 in the box, now the next thing you know, you can throw it out to one of your receivers that they haven't been watching the whole game.
So back deep for Lowell is going to be Noah Smith to take this kick return. The kicking duties for Andrean are left to Ethan Cost.
Third phase of the game could come into play now with this weather.
Especially as the weather deteriorates throughout the game.
That's right. And Andrean's always got a good kicker. They've spoiled a few seasons with a good kick.
Of course, talking about P.J. Cusick. He'll do the PAT and field goal duties. He's 26 of 30 on the season. Again, in a night where we expect weather and wind, special teams is something you have to focus that much more on. Sometimes you'll see teams start to forget about it, only focus on offense and defense, but when the weather starts to deteriorate, it becomes that much more important.
Overlooking the third phase would be the worst thing you could do.
Energy building here. Kick underway. It is a low line drive. It's going to skip into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. And Lowell will start with the ball at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10.
They're on the Lowell hash is where they're going to start it. That left side of the line on Lowell is very strong. We may see a good run here to the left to see what we got to start them off.
Left to right, you've got Braden Quayle, Carter Patterson, Jake Kissel, Brett Thiel, and James Langen across the offensive line. 4 seniors, the lone junior being Carter Patterson, so an experienced group up front.
Definitely.
So Riley Bank will break the huddle. He'll turn. He'll have 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, a tight end there just to his right. He'll take the snap. He's going to give. Running straight up the middle to start the game is Owen Thiel with a good gain of about 7 yards.
That was a tough run right there, right up the middle. That was the freshman right there. He's going to have to pick up on that one really quick. He got doubled and he got pushed out of the way.
Danny, you talked about energy, and you could feel it on this Lowell sideline. Just after this play, you can see the players and fans. I'm looking over at the other sideline, a little bit more calm on that sideline. We'll see if the Lowell side can sustain this kind of energy throughout the game.
We got 2 wide on the right.
Here's Bank. He goes hard count. He sniffs out a blitz. I think we're going to get an illegal.
False start movement.
I think it might have even been the center who kind of flinched on the football.
That's what I thought I saw as well.
Was getting ready to say it. I didn't see a flag. It took a couple seconds before it came out, so I thought maybe the refs didn't see it as well, but ultimately they did, so we'll be back to 2nd down and 8.
I think that center looked up and seen Drake creeping in there and was thinking to himself, uh-oh, I got to switch my block.
Yeah, you saw Drake Bowen bluffing that blitz, and that's a scary sight if you're a center. So we'll have 4 wide this time in the Pistols Bank. He's got Thiel directly behind him. Bank takes a snap, looks right. He's going to give to Thiel. Thiel in the flat, makes one guy miss, and he's met by a host of 59er tackles led by Drake Bowen.
Drake Bowen with a nice hit right there. Stop at the line right there.
That's a completion. They'll end up getting a yard on the play. So it'll be 3rd and 7. They're on the right hash here. So a lot of field to play with. The lefty Bank.
You know, starting off the game with a penalty, that's not a good thing to do, especially when you got a good lead right there with that first run. Now you're kind of putting yourself behind there.
Yeah, it was 2nd and 3, always an easier place for your quarterback, especially when you don't throw the ball a lot. Now 3rd and 7, we'll see what head coach Keith Kilmer comes up with. Here's Bank, takes a snap. He's going to roll left. He's got 2 guys in the flat. He's got a guy running deep. He's looking. He throws, but that one is well out of bounds. So that will be 4th down upcoming, 4th and 7. Lowell's going to have to punt.
Austin Zaya, number 11 for Lowell, was about 15 yards deep behind the corner. Rolling left, throwing left with a right-handed quarterback. That's a tough throw.
So back to do the punting duties for Lowell's Chris Jankasek. 10:04 left here in the first quarter. I believe that's Braden Walker. He's perfectly parallel with us, so I can't quite make out a number. I believe it's Walker.
I don't know if there was a finger on that one.
No, he takes the punt up about 5 yards. He gets cracked, taken down. About a 5-yard return there. That was not Braden Walker. That was
Jacob Jones.
Exactly, Jacob Jones.
The name you might hear a lot tonight.
So 1st and 10, they're going to start the 59ers in positive territory here. They're going to mark it at the 43, right in the middle of the field, where Coach Chris Skinner's offense is going to get their first chance to move against this Lowell team. We teased it, folks. Keep an eye on Patrick Clax, number 1 receiver. He's split far out to the right here. And run trips to the right. Billy Henry takes a snap. He's going to hand it off to Bowen. Bowen looks. He cuts left. He's going to try to beat a man to the corner. Puts his shoulder down. He'll get 3 or 4 tough yards there. Some pushing after the play.
This is what we talked about earlier, is Lowell's front 6. They are not afraid of Drake Bowen. You're going to have to open up the pass on these guys because Lowell is not having it in the front 6.
And that's what you want to do. If you're going to force Drake Bowen to do anything, Danny, it's to move a little bit more side to side. You saw the way his feet stopped in the backfield. That's a win for Lowell.
That is a win. They made him stop multiple times in the backfield right there and then forced him out to a 2-yard gain. That's a win in some situations when it's him.
2nd and 8. Ball at the 41 here on the left hash.
We got a lot of wide field on the right.
Man in motion will be Cost. Now jet sweep motion. He's going to toss it up to the right is Micah Jones. He makes a man miss and gets near a first down around the, oh no, they're going to say he's down about 2 yards shorter than I thought he was. So it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And about 4?
About 4 yards. Seen that toss play opposed to the handoff much more popular because if there's any problem with the transfer of the football, it's technically a pass forward. It's incomplete. See the 59ers take advantage of that there.
I agree. That's a smart call.
So we talked Billy Henry.
Ooh.
17 touchdowns and 1,700 yards on the season. He's going to give to Bowen. Bowen's hitting the backfield. He's going to carry a couple of guys forward across the 35. And I believe he's going to be stopped about a yard short of the first down.
Front 6. They're not going to be a pushover this whole time, and especially with a team that runs the ball. Those are the guys that are on offense too.
Big Tyler Thompson in the middle of it. Big number 70, the 6'1", 305-pound senior clogging up the mess here, and this makes a lot of. Oh no, they did get the first down. Thought they got stopped just a yard short. I think they got a favorable spot.
Definitely from where the one side judge was standing, I thought it was, but that's why I'm up here and not down there.
Yeah, you saw the Lowell coaching staff was in the linesman's ears. They did not like that ball placement, but we'll play on here. Henry sends a man in motion, bluffs to the left, comes back right, and almost stepping in front of that one. On the far side was Nathan Vijikala.
Braden Walker on Lowell, defensive back. He almost stepped in front of that one and took that one for 6.
So a completed pass, but they'll actually lose a yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11. 8:10 left here in the first quarter.
Lowell looks to be in a 4-3 right now. Definitely putting 7 in a box.
Yep, we can see those 3 stacked linebackers. They've kind of marched up an 8th there, coming off the far side. Takes the snap, hands to Bowen. Bowen cuts between a couple. He's weaving through bodies left and right. Gets across the 30-yard line to the 28. Eventually brought down by Elijah Anderson.
Beautiful patience for Drake behind his blockers there. Waited and then slapped one by and then kept on going. Great patience.
It's going to be 3rd and medium. Good space here for the 59ers. It's about where you want to be. 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 7 at the most. Is that 3rd and medium range where you really have the full playbook, especially this part of the field. This is probably 4-down territory. So at 3rd and 6 here, 59ers have a couple of plays to get a first. Henry kicks his leg, sends a man in motion, tosses
Fumble.
it. This ball's fumbled by Believe.
Lowell picks it up. Number 65, Noah Peters.
I believe they recovered it, but I think regardless it should have been incomplete. We talked about it just a couple of plays before. It looked like it was tossed forward, that jet sweep, but without handing it off.
And that's why it's still 4th down.
So it's that's a bad break really for the 59ers though, and I think there's an extended conversation going on the far side of the field. They are not happy that got ruled a fumble.
It shouldn't be ruled a fumble because they lost yards on that. If it was ruled a fumble, then it should be Lowell's ball. It should be an incomplete pass, which moves the ball back forward.
I think that's what we're getting here. The referee and the linesman are talking to each other about it. It's funny. We just talked about this, Danny, about 2 minutes ago.
Yes.
Why it's so important that teams have switched to that method of the jet sweep. So I think we just saw an incomplete signal from the referee. It should be back to 4th and 6. I believe it was 3rd and 6 when we last played. They're talking it through.
Hey, I got my first ref call right.
Well, first of many, Danny. We'll get you
Fingers
some
crossed.
more. You're a rules expert tonight too, so we're going to come back to you. So it's going to be 4th and 6 at the 29-yard line. Pretty obvious go-for-it situation here for the 49ers. They do have a kicker. You talked about in pregame. This would be nearly 47-yard field goal, so they're going to go ahead and keep the offense out there, 4th and 6.
It's good field position. It's a good call here.
Henry claps, takes the snap. He's going to roll right, looking for a receiver. He's got a man in the flat.
Overthrown. He still
finds a man behind him. I believe that fell into the arms
of Jacob Jones. I told you he's going to have his name called. He was in the right place at the right time. That went over the receiver, and he slid in there. And it's like he meant to happen.
It was intended to the flat. I think that was Joe Colossi was the intended target. And he overthrew him, but waiting for it just behind him was Jacob Jones. And a break for the 59ers. They're going to get a first down to the 21-yard line. 6:40 and running left in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers set.
This is a perfect opportunity for a slant.
Henry sending a man in motion. Here comes Jones. He'll head right back out. We're going to get a timeout. A little bit confusion on the 59er side, so timeout taken. We're going to go to a break here on the Region Sports Network. You're watching Region Sports coverage of high school football on the internet at regionsports.com and Facebook Region Sports/Region Sports.
Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love.
Welcome back to game night here at the Region Sports Network. 6:27 remains in the first quarter. A critical 4th down conversion for the 59ers just a couple of moments ago to extend this drive, Danny. They're marching in on the red zone here.
Red zone offense is going to come into play here, but that front 6 has got something else to say about it. We're going to see whether or not Drake can punch it in or Andrean can figure out who can put that ball in the end zone and start getting this lead at home. They need to get this crowd on the Lowell side quiet down a little bit because, like you said, they are definitely amped up tonight.
A lot of energy and excitement on the Lowell sideline. Certainly looking to this. Could this be a launching point for their playoff run here? If they could come in what would be probably an upset on the Lowell side, if they could find a way to get a win here and head into the playoffs, where they'll play Culver Academy next week in the first round of the playoffs. Henry takes the snap. He looks. Across the middle, throw, wide open receiver, touchdown 59ers. And it's Patrick Clacks the third, a touchdown pass.
There's one of them, one of the two I said he'll get tonight.
So coming out of a timeout, you got to love that as a coach. Whatever he picked and drew up, it was a post right to Clax, who beat his man, was wide open in the middle of the end zone, and the 59ers take an early lead. Now for the extra point attempt, here's PJ Cusick. Good snap, good hold, a good kick, and it is 7-0, 59ers.
Cusick looks to have about a 35 to 40-yard foot in him.
Lowell finds themselves trailing early. They're going to get their second possession on offense coming here, and we saw a couple of nice runs. One from, really only from Owen Thiel, who got a couple of touches on that first possession.
Drake had a nice run when on that slap by, when he had some patience on that run, but it's going to be the passing game of Andrean that's going to really make the difference, because moving the ball on the run with that front six for Lowell is next to impossible in the beginning of the game.
Danny, we talked about it before the game too. The fact that the 59ers are able to get up on top early here, right? We're expecting the weather to deteriorate here in the next half hour to an hour. It's going to start raining. The weather's going to drop. It's going to turn into some nasty conditions out here. And the fact that they were able to get out early, a good sign for the home team.
You know, Lowell started off with a lot of passes in the beginning, which normally that's not like them. So I think they're trying to come up and open up the field a little bit to try to open up their run game.
I was a little bit surprised by that. We saw the swing pass early on. We saw the rollout to the left on that third down when Austin Zia really broke free behind the safety. Bank wasn't able to get it to him, but kick is away. Another low liner in the corner. I believe that just got into the end zone. Almost went out of bounds. Would have been a break for Lowell, but they'll start at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
No hang time on that ball at all. It's just a straight missile into the end zone.
He's got a good leg behind him. Does cost. So Bank leads his team out for their second offensive possession of the game.
Do we see Lowell start to run the ball here now, being that they had hopefully if they don't have any penalties, they can get their offense going, because that kind of
That definitely put them behind. They were in good position there, 2nd and 3. And Banks got two receivers wide to the right, one to the left. Oh, jumping early. They're going to get a penalty going the opposite direction. It looks like encroachment's going to be the call against the 59ers. I believe it was Luke Adam that jumped across, the sophomore.
Andrean does not want to start giving them yardage. They want to take the life out of them, but Lowell, I don't think they are phased at all when it comes to how good the other side of the ball is.
So 1st and 5 now for Lowell. Come out in the same formation. Might assume the same play called. Here's a run for Bank. He makes one man miss, lowers his shoulder, doesn't get much. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got a yard.
Possibly got one in there. There was a missed assignment on the right side, and he had to jump back, and there was just too many people there.
So it'll be 2nd and 3. They end up giving him 2 yards there. Another component to tonight's game is, of course, Andrean here with the grass field. So as that rain comes down, that's just another element these teams are going to have to deal with. So a bunch set to the right here. Bank takes the snap, turns, hands to Thiel. Thiel off tackle right. He lowers his shoulder across the 30, gets to the 31-yard line.
He's going to have the
first down.
Nice run. Yards after contact, that's going to make a big difference here. You're going to get hit. It's going to be how many you're going to get afterwards.
You can see the forward shoulder lean from Thiel. Really runs with his shoulders over his pads. I don't think we're going to see Thiel get knocked back at the end of runs very often.
He's definitely not a guy that likes to fall backwards. He's a fall forwards type of guy.
Pistol formation, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Bank takes the snap. He's going to fake the Thiel. A bubble pass out to the right side. Braden Walker makes one man miss, heads toward the sidelines, tackled at the 34.
One key block on the outside right there could have changed that whole play.
So 5:06 left here in the first quarter and counting. Lowell got their first down of the game just a moment ago. 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line. Bank breaks the huddle.
A little bit of a personnel change on Lowell's too.
We'll flip it here now, trips to the right. Bank takes the snap. He hands it to Theo. Off tackle right. Makes one guy miss. Lowers his shoulder. Breaks the tackle of Drake Bowen. Gets across the 35 to the 37.
Kudos to Thiel on that one. He had nowhere to go. They were in the backfield before he even got the handoff, and he still got positive yards out of that.
I made one guy miss in the backfield, one guy miss in the hole just to get 3 yards. That's a workman's like effort.
And then Drake hit him, and he still fell forward.
Owen Thiel, the 6'1", 185-pound junior. He plays bigger than that. He almost looks as if he's as big as Bowen on the opposite side. He runs hard.
He definitely runs like an animal.
Now 4 minutes left here in the first quarter. Bank takes the snap. He fakes this time to Thiel. He'll keep it, go off left tackle. He gets a first down across the 40-yard line to the 43. Tackled eventually in the backfield, or in the defensive backfield, I should say, by J.J. Bowles.
Lowell running the ball on the outside on the D-gap the majority of the year. They're running it really effectively up the middle right now. The A-gaps and the B-gaps are definitely their friends.
He's finding some success in the interior of that offensive line are the Red Devils. We'll go 2 receivers to the right, to the left, and Thiel stacked behind him. He takes the snap again, and he meets Bowen in the hole, and Bowen forces him back. That is a Division I athlete right there, folks, changing the course of that play.
He caught him like a man. That was definitely a stand-up right there. He put him back. Thiel finally went backwards for the first time of the day.
So it's still a 2 or 3 yard gain, but a physical one on the case of Thiel. He's 2nd and 7 upcoming.
It's pretty cool seeing the 2 running backs hitting each other, testing each other, because that's going to happen probably on the
Both
other
sides,
side.
Yep, absolutely, all game long. Bank snap. He hands off to Thiel again, off right tackle. He makes one guy miss, lowers his shoulder, finishes the run up to the midfield. It'll bring up a short 3rd and 3.
3rd and manageable. Thiel, I like the way he puts 2 hands on the ball every time he gets near the defender. That's definitely good practice right there. Coach keeping it on him.
Seen that off-tackle play work a couple of times now for Lowell, finding some success behind that big right tackle, James Langan. Now 3rd and short.
Running the bunch again.
That bunch to the left. And again jumping. And coming across is...
Gave him the first. Now they're across the 50-yard line.
That time it was Ian Urshel. That jumped across. And that's going to give Lowell a first down. Second time we've seen on the 59er side. A little bit of undisciplined play leading to an easy first down for Lowell.
You know, the Miguel Rivera, I was expecting to see him in that position. They got Urshel in there now. They must have been adding up. They look to have 4 on the line now.
Lowell takes a snap, turns, hands at Thiel. Thiel had some room, ran into his own blocker before Drake Bowen. Hog ties and throws him to the ground.
Drake is definitely on fire right now. He's catching him one-on-one, and he's lifting him in the air.
That's his, I think, 4th tackle already here early on. He's a force at the linebacking core for this Andrean defense.
Really lamenting his senior season here, ready to move on to the next level, but he is definitely going to make a stamp on this game.
Clock ticking, minute 30 left here in the first quarter. Pretty quick moving first quarter.
Second and 9.
Almost jumping again was the defense for Andrean. Takes the snap, off tackle right. That's that same off tackle play going for another 5 or 6 yards.
Thiel went down hard on that one.
Feels a little bit slow getting up, and that would be a big problem if he has to leave the game. Looks like he's headed back to the huddle, but he took a shot there.
A little bit of that compression tackle. Minute left in the game, or in the first quarter. Lowell has another play left in him here. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a shot. It's 3rd and manageable.
3rd and 3 at this position, around the 39-yard line. You'd think probably 4-down territory. I think maybe if they lost any amount of yards, maybe they would punt it, but I think if it's 4th and 3 or less at this point, they'd probably go for it. Bank has an empty backfield. He's going to take the snap. He's going to run off tackle right. He's got a lot of room and a lot of blockers across the 35, and he'll get a first down.
Laid the wood to get the first, too. I like seeing a quarterback lower the shoulder. He's not phased, too.
Right at the 35-yard line. 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. They're going to have to run one more play here. on the march are the Red Devils.
Depending on where it goes, he might get 2 in.
Got good push on the right side of that offensive line. Good blocking from his receivers. Here's Bank. He takes snap, turns, hands to Thiel. Thiel over left guard. Breaks 1 tackle, breaks
Still
3
going.
tackles. He's
Still
across
going.
the 20, inside the 10, and finally taken down inside the 10-yard line.
Running the ball like a grown man. Look at that boy. He got up slow the other time, and he got up this time faster than the guy that tackled him. That's what I like to see.
A big-time run from Thiel of 26 yards to the 9-yard line, and Lowell is in business. 10 seconds and counting. I believe that will take us to the end of the first quarter. We'll see if Lowell can get one more play off. Bank gets the
They
play
got
off,
it.
takes the snap, has a lead blocker in Thiel. He's tackled at the 6-yard line by a host of 59ers. That will bring us to the end of the first quarter. After 1, it's Andrean 7 and Lowell 0, but Lowell's marching. Take a timeout, come back in just a minute right here on the Region Sports Network. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle. Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. After 1 quarter, Andrean has a 7-0 lead over the Lowell Red Devils. Of course, head over to the Region Sports on Facebook. See the scrolling scores update. Couple score updates for you. Presented by Strack and Van Til scoreboard. We've got Maryville and Chesterton tied at 0 in the first quarter. Hobart has taken a 7-0 lead over the Munster Mustangs. Valpo and Lake Central tied at the first quarter. On the goal line, here's Lowell, takes the snap, does Bank a fumble, bad exchange on the handoff. I think Thiel got back on top of it. I think he might have even gained a couple of yards.
He meant to do that.
I'm sure that's what he'll go with, but I think he got 2 yards out of it, so I think it's going to be 3rd and 3 here at the 3. 3rd and goal. That exchange, first time we've seen Bank under center. You wonder if that threw off his footwork and timing just a little bit.
I think it may have. He's back under center again, though.
Here's Bank under center. He's got 2 backs behind him.
Power eye.
Takes the snap, hands to Thiel. Thiel pushing forward, tackled right at the 2-yard line by Jimmy Finley. So it's going to be 4th and goal at around the 1 or 2 yard line. Almost certainly going to see Lowell go for it here. I think it's about 1.5 yards, it looks like. I think they're going to call it 2 on the scoreboard. So a big moment here early in the game. 10:55 left in the second quarter. Lowell trailing by a touchdown. They're going to need 1.5 yards here if they want to potentially tie this game.
Play clock clicking down here. We got 10 seconds left. They're going to have to hustle to the line.
So Bank again. Under center. We're going to get a timeout. Not sure if we got a timeout or the linesman.
What's going on?
The line judge, I think he's asking for a fan to be moved or something going on over on his side of the field, that far side linesman. Not sure what that conversation was about, so we'll reset the play clock, start over here.
Fourth and 2.
So Bank again under center. He's got a full house backfield, 3 backs in the backfield. He takes the snap, hands it Thiel. Thiel off the right tackle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Lowell. And Owen Thiel gets his first touchdown of the game, his third of the season. And pending an extra point, we may have a tie game.
He is on a roll tonight. That was a great drive by Lowell, and they really needed that drive. Andrean went down and scored effortlessly in the beginning, and now with Lowell, that was a march.
So on to kick the extra point for Lowell is Caden Britton. He's 11 of 12 in extra points on the season. The senior kicker. No, not a clean snap. Looks like we're going to get offsides against the 59ers.
Oh, go for two. Lowell's only missed a couple of those this year.
That's certainly a consideration here. Looks like the PAT unit's going to stay on the field. Looks like about a full step up here. And Britton will get another chance. Good snap, clean hold, good kick. And it is through. Tie game, 7-7, 10:23 left in the second quarter. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
When they do it, they get it.
Welcome back to the Region Sports Network. Here at Game Night. Andrean and Lowell doing battle here at Father Eckert Stadium in Merrillville. A 7-7 score here early in the second quarter. Jacob Jones heads back to return this kick for the 59ers. He's joined back there as well by his brother Micah Jones.
Lowell set to kick off for the first time this game.
Seen a couple of kickoffs already out of Ethan Koss, who just fires those low-line drives. They also got the wind in their back now, do Lowell. That wind is howling.
They sure do.
From right to left. That's something to consider as well as we move on, especially for Lowell. That's going to affect your passing game. You'll be thrown into the wind. Got to make sure you get a nice tight spiral. When you got that strong of a wind in your back, you got to accommodate for what would be extra distance with that wind in your back. So because of the wind, they have to hold the kickoff. It's a low screamer, and it hits a up man. Eventually picked up.
Oh, he's going wide.
By Antonio Barnes, but he stood up at the 23 by 3 or 4 tacklers, including Cameron Cargo.
That came in hot. It hit him so hot he didn't know where it went.
So 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line is where Andrean will start their third offensive possession with 10:13 to go in the second quarter.
Andrean being a passing team, they're throwing into the wind now. I look forward to seeing a little bit of screens and runs out of this position.
Yeah, when you have a wind this stiff, that becomes a huge strategic point in the game. If you're on the Andrean side, you want this quarter to go as fast as you possibly can, and we might see them run the ball a little bit more. Fake jet sweep, hands off, breaking one tackle's Boney, breaks another tackle, and it takes about 3 defenders from Lowell to take him down, eventually dragged to the ground by Caleb Abad.
Drake pulling off about 7-yard carry right there, and I think about 5 of them were after his first contact.
He's a strong runner. You can understand why there's a lot of excitement around that young man and his future. Come out in the pistol now does Billy Henry. He's got 3 receivers to his right, and Bowen directly behind him. Bowen is going to take the handoff. He cuts up the middle. He's dancing in the hole eventually. Stood up by a couple of Lowell defenders in the mix there. This is Brock Allen and Daniel Kraft. Got about 2 yards there, so it'll be third and about a yard here.
Lowell gang tackling. Gang tackle for Lowell's. You're seeing the 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, then you're seeing 5, 6, 7 more hats on the ball. That's going to be really hard for Drake towards the end of the game, running the ball, having more than 3 to 4 people tackle you.
Conversely, a key for Lowell, right? They absolutely have to gang tackle someone like Bowen who's so strong, can break tackles so easily. You got to bring 3 or 4 guys to the party when you're tackling for Lowell. Three receiver set. Taking the snap. Oh,
Fumble!
in the backfield. Picked up. Now running right. And tackled for a loss. It was Cost that came back to pick it up. He tried to run for a first down, but Lowell was all over it.
That could have been a lot worse right there because that just fell into Cost's hands. If that would have been picked up by Lowell right now, they could have really put a damper on Andrian's day.
That's the second bad exchange we've seen from the 59ers on that jet sweep. In this case, it was not tossed like we saw it before. This time it was actually a handoff, so no incompletion, and Cost is going to have to punt it away for the 59ers.
Let's see how he does kicking it into the wind now. I'm thinking of the low screamer again.
I think that's Isaiah Sanchez. Again, a little bit tough. We're right even with him. Oh, and a bad punt.
Straight into the air.
That one might go for
They're
going to
lose yards on that one. A negative 2-yard punt. The wind, third phase of the game. That's what's going to come into play here with the elements, and it hasn't even started raining.
And I don't know if Cost has it in his repertoire, but with a wind like this, you've got to find a way to keep the punt down. You think of a rugby-style punt, something like that. Wasn't able to do it, so it's going to be a negative 3-yard punt for Andrean, and Lowell is in prime position starting at the Andrean 30-yard line.
Yeah, Lincoln Snyder, freshman for Lowell. He's down there with no helmet, headbutting everybody. Lowell is on fire right now.
Here's Bank, waits the snap. He's going to hand it to Teal. No, he's going to keep it. A lot of space up the middle, cuts to the left, and he's tackled at the 26-yard line. He had a little bit more room, lost his footing there just a bit, or he can add another at least 3 or 4 yards.
I think Drake untied his shoe right there. He got one of his shoestrings.
7:37 left here in the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 6 for Lowell. Bank and Thiel in the backfield. Send a couple of receivers far out to the right, one to the left. Bank goes on 2 this time, doesn't get a jump, hands to Thiel. A little bit of traffic in the backfield. Thiel having to weave his way through it, gets across the 21, gets close to the 20-yard line. I believe he got a first down. We'll see where they
might
mark
be
it.
about too short.
That far side linesman just short of the 20-yard line, which is where the first down will be. So maybe 3rd and 1, 3rd and less than 1. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
He's got some yak yards tonight.
Both these guys are just incredibly tough
Man.
runners, and we've talked about the importance of gang tackling. We're going to have to see it from both sides here tonight.
3rd and short, he's in the pistol again.
I'd be shocked if this is going to anyone but Thiel. Bank takes a snap, hands it Thiel off left tackle. Thiel tackled in the backfield.
Wow.
A yard lost there. It's going to bring up 4th down. I believe Lowell will go for it.
That was beautiful. He got right into the backfield without any problems. That was number 58, Charlie Copen. He's a senior, 6'1". 230, plays like 250.
So clock ticking here. Coming to 6 minutes left in the quarter. It's going to be a 4th and about 1.5 here for Lowell, trying to convert at the 21-yard line.
Time has been chewed up in this quarter.
Again, they go full house backfield here. Thiel behind a couple of fullbacks to Banks' right. He hands off to Thiel. Thiel tripped up, and he's going to be brought down short. A great tackle by Drake Bowen, and Lowell is going to take over. Excuse me, Andrean's going to take over.
Thiel got almost tripped up in the backfield about 2 yards deep and then kept his footing and still got to the line of scrimmage but couldn't push past it to get the first down. And now Andrian's going to take over about 8 yards back from where they were their last drive.
So a good formed tackle there from Bowen. So they take back over on offense through the 59ers.
5:54 left in the quarter.
And if you're, at this point, if you're Ethan Cost, you're pretty thankful that didn't lead to more damage after the bad punt.
Now they can forget about it.
Here's a pass. It'll be a bubble screen out left, caught by Jones. Jones makes one-man miss across the 25-yard line. Gets pushed down
Still on
the
his feet.
27-yard line.
Tough runner. One of the littler guys out there and plays out of his shell. There's no way that kid is in that little of a body and he's playing like he is.
They'll mark him at the 28-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3. And you talk about spots to take a shot. Is this one of them?
Oh, this is it right here. Jacob Jones is wide open. No one on him.
Yeah, some short defenders here on the near side
Run
of the field.
play.
Instead, they're going to give it to Bowen. Bowen moves off tackle left across the 30. He's going to get a first down, forced out of bounds around the 34.
Tough yards right there. He lowered his shoulder to get that extra 2 on the edge, right on his own sideline. Bringing up this next first down. They're right back to where they were the last time. 5 minutes left. You think they can possibly get in there to get some points, being that their kicker is pretty good, but they're kicking into the wind, so they're going to need 6.
Just thinking that I think in Andrean's dream world here, if they can take the last 5-15 of this and hold the ball, just march down the field, run out that clock where the wind is as fierce as it's been all night as you look at the American flag to our right. Henry awaits the snap. He'll take it. He'll look. He's going to throw. He's going to find a man out wide. That's Jones. Or was he throwing to Angel Ramirez? Looked a little bit in between them, and you could see just in that short pass, you could see the way the ball's moving in the wind. It's really stiff wind out there.
He may have been throwing that to Jacob, and it went to him, to Ramirez. Because you could see Jacob went, whoa, whoa, where is it going?
And I think both receivers, too, was he throwing it to me? Or you throwing it to him? It gets a little bit confusing there. That's also important. Talk about receiver spacing. You want to make sure your receivers get good spacing.
Right.
Patrick Clax comes to the near side here. He'll be one-on-one on the outside against Cameron Cargo. Instead, it'll be a handoff to Bowen, but he's grabbed in the backfield and sprung to the ground by Tyler Thompson. I believe maybe a gain of 1 or no gain.
The front 6, we were talking about this before the game on how good they are and how they're going to have to be good tonight to stop Drake. And from what we're seeing in the first half right now, they are not letting up and they don't look tired.
So 3rd and 9 here. The 59ers have a 3rd and long here. First time we've seen them in this long of a 3rd down situation. Pistol formation. Going a hard count, taking the snap. Rolling to the right is Henry. He's looking. He's going to fire a wide open James right at the first down marker. Can he get it? I think he got forced out just before the first down. That's going to be the mark, it looks like. Forced out of bounds.
Jacob Jones again.
Aiden Wolgemuth on the play to help force him out, as was Cameron Cargo on the play.
I don't see the punter out there. Looks like we're going for it.
After the last experience with the punt, I don't know if you can blame him.
That wind is, you can't blame the kid. You look at that flag, it's probably going to tear.
So now I think the 59ers are going to take a timeout. That's going to be their last timeout of the half, I believe, with 3:43 remaining in the second quarter. We're going to take a timeout here on the Region Sports Network. You're watching the Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Stay with us at halftime, connecting the first half and the second half of tonight's game. It's the Hose Connections Halftime Report, presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. 3:43 remaining here in the second quarter. A 4th down decision awaits the 59ers as soon as they come back out. Looks like the offense is staying on the field at their own 42-yard line. Huge gamble here, but we talked about it with how stiff the wind is. Something you can kind of understand. So it's going to be a pistol formation. Twins to the right.
Drake's 7 yards deep.
Taking the snap, faking. He's going to hand off. Now swinging all the way right. A big tackle short of the 40. Open field tackle from Chris Skinner is going to force the turnover. Lowell's going to take over with great field position, their second time this game.
Lost 3 yards on that one. On the jet sweep. Went around for maybe even a reverse. I couldn't really get a glimpse of it because I got caught with the fake. Then when I seen the tackle, this is momentum right now. We have 3:36 left in this second quarter. Lowell has the ball, and they are on fire right now. They have the momentum. Getting a lead at half would be huge on the road.
Especially, haven't quite seen the weather break yet, but we are expecting it here in the next half hour or so to start to fall apart a bit. This time taking the snap is Bank. He'll run it right up the middle.
He's
Gets
wide.
it back to the right. He's across the 30-yard line and pushed out of bounds around the 25. That'll be a first down for Lowell.
Big chunks of yards now with these runs. Andrian's going to have to switch up that front if they're going to expect to stop that up the middle.
Bank, no hesitation on that one. Put his foot in the ground and got downhill. Made one move in the hole, broke outside there and found about 15 yards for a first down at the 25. It'll be an empty backfield here for Bank. He'll take the snap. He's going to go off tackle left. Gets across the 25. Taken down around the 23-yard line. Bowen in on the tackle, as was Andrew Larson. Bring up 2nd and 8.
Andrian's front six going to have to step it up right here. I don't see any reason. Honestly, you know what would be nice to see, being that they're all expecting the run, just take a shot on first down. If you can get one more first.
No passing touchdowns on the year for Lowell. We'll see if they can dial one up. Bank takes the snap. He's going to hand to Thiel. Some traffic in the backfield. Bowen misses a tackle. I think we're going to see a holding call. I believe that was the right guard that caught a good amount of a defensive lineman jersey on the Lowell side. So this is going to back him up 10 yards.
Now you're playing behind the sticks. That's not what you want to do. That kills your momentum.
So with 2:26 left here in the second quarter, Lowell has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. The scoreboard says that Andrean has 1 left. I think they took their last one, not exactly sure. But I do know that Lowell has all 3, so they've got plenty of time here. Clock running, 2:25.
Second and long.
Quads to the left here. 3 receivers far left. Got a tight end a little bit tighter to the formation. Again, they're going to run off tackle left, but getting pushed in the backfield was the left tackle and brought down at the 32-yard line was Bank. That was in the backfield. Dominic Leone that got in the way a little bit, the left tackle.
Left side of the line totally collapsed on that one.
So now 3rd and 15 at the 30, and if you're on the Lowell side, you're thinking, how do we cut this in half, right? 3rd and 15, if they can get into about 4th and 8, a manageable 4th down situation. At present, 16 yards to go. That's a tough spot, but if they can find a way to cut it in half here, Danny.
Do you think that they possibly got a little trick play involved right here? Maybe a flea flicker?
If you got it, now's the time. You would think if they get a stop here with the clock running that Andrean would take that last time out if they actually have it. Taking the snap, rolling left is Bank. He's looking left, trying to find something. He'll throw it and nearly completes the pass to Austin Zaya.
Ran out of reality.
Ran out of space. So take a look. With the wind in their back, they're going to try a field goal here, and I actually think that's the right decision. This would be a 48-yard field goal.
You got to try it this. I honestly think they're all going to kick it low. So if you're on the line right now, get your hands up. Get in the air.
And the only thing I think that's really even making this much of a possibility for Lowell is that wind is pretty stiffly behind them.
See if they're bringing the house.
Christian Kosick is the holder. He puts his hand down at about the 47-yard line, takes the snap, a good hold, kick but way low. Didn't get a clean kick of it this time. And they'll miss that field goal opportunity. It'll be a minute 18 here for Andrean to try to score before the half. You know, they don't have any timeouts going into the win. You got to be careful here if you're Andrean. You want to get out of this half without really giving Lowell another chance. At the same time, you got a little bit of time. Can you make something happen?
118 right now. The way Andrean's offense has been looking, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Skinner's trying to get back into the locker room to talk this over to figure out what they can do to get this offense moving, because right now they're playing behind the wheel and Lowell's driving. Knotted up at 7. Do we see Andrean put the ball in the air one good time? Do we see him take a shot here, you think?
My thinking would be that it wouldn't be on first down. I think if I think if they're going to do it, they also don't want to get pinned back again and give Lowell another chance. Lowell has all 3 timeouts. My guess is they keep this on the ground. I don't think they're looking to go 80 yards. At the very least, make Lowell take all their timeouts. But no, you're going to disagree with me. Taking the pass off the hands of Clax. From the pass from Billy Henry. 2nd down. Now you're in the driver's seat if you're Lowell, because you can take timeout after each of the next 2 plays if the clock's running at all, and probably get the ball back in good field position.
Good defense and 3 timeouts. This is 1:15 left on the clock, and they're sitting on what is that, the 30-yard line?
The 20.
20-yard.
We've seen the punting adventures for the 59ers so far.
Well, they went pass on 1st down this time. I know they ain't going to try to run it here.
Here's Henry. He'll take the snap. He's going to fake to Bowen and throw out wide to Jones. Jones catches it, tackled. Only a gain of about 6 yards. No, excuse me, only gain of about 2 yards as he's dragged down at the 22-yard line. Now Lowell's going to let the clock run. I'm a little bit surprised by this, Danny. Would have thought they'd take a timeout here.
I agree.
At the worst, force the 59ers to punt.
They're just letting the clock run.
Very surprised by this clock management decision on the Lowell sideline with their full complement of timeouts. Not sure I quite get it. 40 seconds ticking down here in the 2nd quarter.
Those are that's valuable time right there that Lowell could have used.
I think Andrean's very happy to see they didn't take it. 5 seconds to go here on the play clock. Takes the snap. He's going to hand to Bowen. Bowen's going to be dragged down at the 26-yard line, coming up with the stick. Finally taking a timeout. 24 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Is Lowell, I mean, Danny, the look you just gave me is exactly how I feel. Don't really understand that strategy on the part of the head coach for Lowell, Keith Kilmer.
Coach K right there, I think that he was in conversation and wasn't really paying attention to that, because he let 36 seconds run off the clock and then called the timeout. Now you've got to go through another probably 12 seconds with punt, or if they go for it, because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they went for it right here.
Ooh, that's an interesting take. I would be pretty surprised. It's going to be 4th and 4. I mean, I think you got to assume you can at least get 10 or 20 yards on a punt here. We know Lowell doesn't throw the ball very well, so if you can at least get him backed up, somewhere near midfield, I think you probably feel good if you're Andrean. So 24 seconds to go. We'll see what the 49ers come out with here. But Danny, in this first half, we saw the response drive from Lowell right after Andrean scored. But since then, both teams, we've had some bad punting. We've had a turnover on downs, kind of back and forth here in the middle of the field.
It's going to come down to the 3rd phase that we were saying in the beginning. The kicking game.
I think you're going to see a pooch punt here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Bowen's going to back up just a little bit. He's going to take the ball, and he's going to kick it. It's
blocked!
A blocked field goal, or blocked
That
punt,
is
rather.
not what they wanted.
Lowell picks it up, and they get into the end zone. They score!
Oh, my gosh. How is that?
James Lincoln picks up the football off the blocked punt, and with 14 seconds left to go in the 2nd quarter, Lowell takes the lead.
Rugby punt for Bowen gets blocked. Lowell scoops it up.
You saw him start in kind of like a wildcat formation, takes about 3 steps back, and that's the problem when you do a kick like that. I think he might have hit his own man. I don't even think it was necessarily blocked by a Lowell defender. He might have hit the back of his own player.
Oh, my goodness.
What a development here right at the end of the first half with 14 seconds to go. And so the clock management discussion we have proved moot on that one, Danny, as they needed 0 plays to score a touchdown there. Extra point to come. Snap a little bit high. Holder gets it down. Kick is up and good. And it's the Lowell Red Devils that take a 7-point lead here at the end of the 2nd quarter. We're going to take a break here. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting, but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Back live here at Father Eckert Stadium on the campus of Andrean High School. A wild sequence of events here right at the end of the second quarter as Lowell takes the lead. Do stay tuned for our halftime show, the Hose Connections halftime report presented by Hose Connections, proven under pressure. So with 14 seconds left, it's already been a strange game here, Danny. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some strangeness here on this kick return. Big boot. This one's going to sail into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. So my guess is we'll see a couple of kneel downs. I'd be very surprised if the 59ers are very aggressive here at all.
I'm expecting a kneel down, but I don't know what to expect after that last exchange. And at this point, I'm just guessing. 14 seconds left. Andrean down by 7 now going into halftime. This is going to be tough. Granted, they have the ball when they come out at half, and they're going to need that ball. Hopefully, they have the wind to their back, and they can start picking up some of these yardage.
We saw Billy Henry with a beautiful touchdown pass to Patrick Clax. The only score of the game for the 59ers. Handoff given to Bowen. He breaks a couple of tackles, eventually stood up at the 25-yard line. I believe that will do it for the first half. The final seconds tick down, and after one half of play, it's a 14-7 lead. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the halftime show here in just a couple of moments. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop. City Electric Supply in Valpo is proud to support local athletes on the Region Sports Network. City Electric Supply in Valpo offers LED lighting, generators, tools, electrical supplies, and more. Call City Electric Supply in Valpo at 219-386-3434. That's City Electric Supply in Valpo, the power to supply you. For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117. Pre-plan for your family's sake.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
Oh, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844 6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. You're watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Danny, a wild sequence there at the end of the first half, and we talked at the beginning of the game, as the weather deteriorates, we are worried about the special teams. We didn't need the weather to deteriorate to have special teams problems, and that's really why Lowell has the lead. He said that first punt didn't lead directly to points, but we played that entire half down here in the 49ers end.
It was the whole half, really, that whole second quarter was played down here. There was only the beginning. Even the touchdown that Andrean scored was in this side of the field. Now, we were all talking about the passing of Andrean and how good Drake Bowen is, and then we were also talking about the defense of Lowell and how good their front six is. And to their testament, they've been great this game so far, but the real story is the third phase of the game, the kicking game. Well, missed field goal, block punt, a botched punt that they lost yardage on. That's really kept that ball down here and kept this Lowell fans really into the game.
Meanwhile, you saw the way that Andrean struggled in that quarter, especially going into the wind, right? That quarter going from our left to right is directly into that stiff breeze that's reaching nearly 20 miles per hour. We talked about at the top on the Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday night forecast. We were expecting weird conditions, and with the way that wind picked up in the second quarter, almost right after kickoff, really kind of changed the game here early on.
And if you look at the flag, it's shifted from west to east to north to south. So that means that wind's probably just whipping around out there. The second half is going to get really crazy because we're about 25 minutes away from rain hitting here, which means we're about 15 minutes from the second half to start. The second half could get really good. And if we've had a couple fumbles and botched situations, I wouldn't be surprised if the rain came out that we see a couple more, unless they can really keep everything under wraps.
So the one offensive touchdown for Lowell was scored on the backfield, out of the backfield of Owen Thiel, the junior, who's running hard all game long. You mentioned it. That's kind of what we expected, like this running back matchup between Thiel and Bowen, and of course the throwing of Henry and Clax. But we've seen really strong running from both teams.
I agree. The only thing I could think that for this second half, being that Andrean gets the ball now at half, if they can get their passing game going as fast as they possibly can to open up the game for Drake, to get him some room to get past that front six, then Andrean's got a chance of moving this game into their favor. But unless they can get that passing game going to open up the running lanes for Drake, Lowell's just going to keep putting six in the box, and they're going to keep hammering you for the rest of the game. And then when it rains, they're going to play slot ball, and they're going to really hammer you.
Do want to do a quick whip around on scores. Of course, the Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. We'll do that after a break. My trusty producer tells me, so take a quick time out. You're watching the Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle. Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
Flip the switch, the light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Father Eckert Stadium. You're on the campus of Andrean High School. You're watching the Hose Connections halftime report brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Now I want to do a quick look at the scoreboard here, the Strachan Van Til scoreboard. All of tonight's Region Sports scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, streaming on Facebook.com/Region Sports and RegionSports.com. Strachan Van Til, your local grocer with over 89 years of heritage. Seen some scores starting to come in from around the area here on the Region Sports Network. Big matchup between Hanover Central and Calumet. It's Hanover Central, number 3 team in the region, up 14-0 in the second quarter. Of course, the game right here that we're watching with Lowell, the number 8 team, with a 7-point lead here at halftime over Andrean. Crown Point with a 14-3 lead over Michigan City in the second quarter. Merrillville, a little bit of surprise. The number 2 team here in the region, down 7-0 in the second quarter. The Chesterton Trojans. Last year, Merrillville won 40-7 in that matchup, so keep an eye on that. Hobart, a 21-0 lead over Munster. Valparaiso also trailing the Lake Central Indians 7-0 as they start the third quarter. Again, another big lopsided one last year when Valpo won 49-7. Westside Cougars have a 26-0 lead in the second quarter over the Crispus Attucks. Portage Indians have a 21-0 lead over the LaPorte Slicers. The Highland Trojans, 27-0 lead in the second quarter over the KV Cougars. You look at some of these scores too. We talked about some of the upsets we see on the scoreboard here. Here's Griffith with the 21-3 lead. Everyone in the area is getting this rain here in the not too distant future, so if you're any of those teams that are trailing, especially some of those potential upset we're seeing, they better get going quickly.
You know, some of these close games too, it's going to start getting in a little bit of a pig pen play here soon.
South Central a 21-0 lead over Bishop Knoll in the second quarter. River Forest a 14-0 lead over the Bowman Eagles. Fremont Eagles over the Lake Station Eagles. A lot of Eagles around the area. Eagles taking on Eagles. A couple of weeks ago, I did a game with the Indians taking on the Indians in Portage and Lake Central. Morton and EC Central tied in the first quarter. And one game tomorrow. Hammond Central and Madison will play at 1 o'clock tomorrow. The first time those two teams have ever met. That is the Stack and Van Til hometown scoreboard. This scoreboard update brought to you by our great sponsor, Strachan Van Til. We'll take another timeout. Got about 8 minutes left here at halftime. Come back with some preview of the second half in just a couple of moments. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to game night here on the Region Sports Network. We're on the Hose Connections halftime report, live from Father Eckert Stadium here on the campus of Andrean High School. Get a chance to look at some highlights here from the first half. We got a couple of touchdowns, several exciting plays there in the first half, Danny. Of course, the scoring was started off on the side of Andrean. A beautiful pass into the arms of Clax. And he ran that post route, was wide open in the middle of the end zone.
Wide open, and they haven't went back to that well yet. They haven't drank from that water again the rest of the night. So maybe they'll go back to that again tonight, being as how good it worked.
Of course, that was when they had the wind in their back, too, and you saw the way the ball just moved much more easily through the air. We had a fun angle on one pass as Andrean was going into the wind, where we literally saw the football move from one receiver to the other. The wind was blowing that hard.
Yeah, it's hard to play 11 guys on the other side of the field, and then the wind as well.
Going to get a chance to see maybe the best run of the night thus far from Owen Thiel, where he ran through 4 or 5 missed tackles. You can see him break it to the right, lowers his shoulder, breaks 2 more, and very nearly carries a host all the way into the end zone. That one got them to about the 8-yard line, and it was about 3 plays later on the 4th down.
Thiel definitely laughs at arm tackles.
He runs through them easily. You can see that touchdown we were alluding to. It was a 4th and goal at about 1.5-yard line. Off tackle right. That's just power. Overpowering Andrean, and that was the tying score. So it was 7-7 for most of the second quarter until about 14 seconds left in the second quarter when we saw a pretty bizarre sequence both ways, right? We saw some interesting time management for Lowell, and then, of course, the biggest play of the game thus far, the block punt from Lowell, and still a little bit tough to see, but I think it might have been a punt from Bowen that he actually hit his own man. I'm not sure it actually was blocked by a Lowell Red Devil. You're going to see a look at it here. He started out kind of in a wildcat formation, took about 3 steps back, took the snap, tried the rugby punt, and just booted it right off the back of his own man. Eventually, it was picked up and ran in by James Langan. So that's the biggest play of the game thus far, and we talked about the importance of special teams. You saw it right there, and that's the difference in the game at the moment.
It really is. That third phase, it's going to come into play again with this second half. because we had prime conditions in the first half, and it came into play. And now when the conditions get bad, that's when you're really going to see this kick into effect. Andrean's coming out to the field right now, so we're getting ready to go. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left before half.
And we're going to take a quick break, actually. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to get to our second half keys of the game. So the Castle Subaru keys to the game we talked about before the game. You mentioned, obviously, the mismatch in terms of the running game and the run defense of Andrean. We talked about special teams and the weather. How'd that kind of all play out? Let's start there with kind of recapping those first half keys of the game.
Well, with the beginning, they got the air raid going on Andrean, and they got the passing game going, but they never went back to it. The key to the game for them is to really get the passing game going in the beginning, and they've got to get it going fast. They've got to open up that field for Drake Bowen, or else he's not going to get any yards. Lowell, on the other hand, they just need to keep stomping their feet. They're doing exactly what they need to do. They're playing on all sides, and they're playing on all phases. They're right now, they have the momentum. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Andrean touchdown here to even this up. And if we keep doing this the way they're going, this could be an overtime game.
Both teams starting to come out to the field. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by our friends at Castle Subaru on Highway 6 in Portage and on the web at castlesubaru.com. We're going to take a break, come back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to start the second half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting, but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love. With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to the Hose Connections halftime report. We're going to take a quick second look at the weather. It was something we talked about at the beginning of the game. The Economy Electric Heating and Cooling Friday night forecast with a 24/7 emergency service. Comfort isn't far away. We see a wall of green heading our way. Smatterings of some yellow and red as well. It's just a matter of a couple of minutes. Danny, before we start to see the skies open up and conditions really start to deteriorate.
Yeah, we got a couple more minutes, but honestly, Skinner doesn't even care. He's out there not Skinner, I'm sorry, Coach Kilmer. He doesn't even care. He's out there in a pair of shorts.
Got to set that example, right?
He does.
Weather's only in your head. 30 seconds left here, the second half. Talked about some of those keys, and it's going to be interesting here is to restart the second half, especially with the impending weather. If with Lowell with the lead, that was kind of the recipe we talked about. If they were going to come in here on the road, the lower ranked team, and pull a bit of an upset, they were going to have to get ahead early because the condition changes definitely favors the Red Devils.
It definitely favors them in the second half, and Andrean, they're really flat, and they're looking like they're coming out flat. They're not pumped. They're moving around. Like, if you look at Lowell, they're ready to go. They got 2 kickers kicking. they only have 1 kicker.
So getting started here, Andrean's going to get the opening kick. I believe they're going to be into the wind in the third quarter, if I read the signals correctly. And they will get the ball. Lowell took the opening kickoff, went 3 and out for Andrean, took over. So it will be a kick with the wind in their back for Lowell. Saw the only kickoff thus far from Lowell was a low screamer that actually hit one of the upbacks. So 12 minutes up on the clock. The Jones brothers back deep.
I think the choice on end zone to defend for Andrean in the beginning has cost them.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to be one of those games to dictate which half in which quarter you get the ball. That kickoff, the low liner, goes out the back of the end zone. So both these kickers fancy themselves kind of the similar way on these kickoffs. Touchback, and to start the third quarter, Andrean's going to start at their own 20-yard line.
2 quarters in a row going into the wind. And in the fourth quarter, when you finally get the ball with the wind to your back, you get the rain.
Right. So this is going to be an interesting dynamic, right? Because in a normal circumstance, if you're Andrean, you might try to, again, run clock here in the third quarter. You're going to be going against the wind, but you're going to have rain coming. It's a little bit of caught between the two. Really stacked against Andrean a bit here. Henry takes the snap. He looks left. Bubble screen off to Jones. Jones got a blocker in space. He's across the 30, across the 35, and brought down maybe right at the 34-yard line.
11. Micah.
So a quick first down, a gain of 12 there on the first play of the second half for the 59ers. Henry again in the pistol formation. He's got Drake Bowen 3 or 4 yards behind him. He takes the snap, turns, fakes to Bowen. Quick slant, caught right at the 40-yard line. Getting pulled down, and a good gain of 7. It'll be second and short here.
Clacks with a similar one across the middle. Last one was a post that he got for a touchdown.
If you're going to do it into the wind, one of those quick slants is kind of the way to go.
Short passes, dink and dump, West Coast.
So second and 3 upcoming at the 40-yard line for the 59ers. 2 backs in the backfield now. That's Angel Ramirez to the left of Henry. Takes the snap, fakes to Bowen, gets a quick pass out. Caught by Clacks, trying to break free. He only got about 2 or 3 yards, but maybe they'll give him 4. That's going to be a first down. Out to the 44-yard line. A fresh set of downs coming for Andrean.
Moving across the 50-yard line. This could be the first time they get across the 50-yard line in a while.
Yeah, since like late in the first quarter when they scored that touchdown, they've really been the entire game. We talked about it during the halftime show. Is really stuck in the 59ers end pretty much the entire second quarter.
Coach Skinner coming out passing like he needed to in the beginning here.
First and 10 at the 44, dropping back Henry. He's going to look deep. He's got a man wide open and just past him, and you don't see that very often. That was Clacks, who was open and into the wind. You don't often see a quarterback overthrow a guy.
Into the wind. Yeah.
But it was a tight spiral. It cut through the wind a little bit and just past Clacks. He couldn't catch up to it.
That would have been Clacks' second touchdown.
So with 10:41 left here in the third quarter, second and 10 upcoming. That's the shot I think we were looking for a little bit there at the end of the first half. Didn't really see the 59ers extend the field very much offensively. clearly something they wanted to do coming out here in the second quarter, or third quarter, I should say. Henry takes the snap. He's going to hand to Bowen. Bowen with a lot of room up the middle. Runs over one tackler across the 50 and brought down at the 47. And on the tackle is Brett Thiel.
You know, that opening up the pass finally got Drake a little bit of run. I think that was Drake's longest run of the night right there.
Yeah, he's been bottled up, the Notre Dame commit. Hasn't quite broken free like we might have expected him to. Credit to the Lowell defense. They've really kept him in check. Now 3rd and 1 here. Again, 2 backs in the backfield. Ramirez to the left of Henry with Bowen deep behind him. Bowen will take the handoff. Will he get that yard? I think he got a little bit of a push. Saw a shake of the head from our producer saying no, he did not get it.
I think they caught him short. That's going to be 3rd and short. Is that 4th down now?
It's going to be 4th and 1 here at the 47-yard line. What do the 59ers do?
You got to go for this.
I'll be honest, Danny. I'm pretty impressed. That's only, I think, the second time I've said 49ers. See the colors and the helmet and the name. I really thought I'm going to give myself a pat on the back on that.
Right.
Let's make it 0 the rest of the game here. The 59ers are going to go for it on 4th and inches.
4th and inches, and you're taking the snap 3 yards back.
Oh, Ramirez looked like he leaned. No call. They're going to go bubble screen. Ball up in the backfield at the 50. A huge hit, and Lowell's going to take over defensively. Big hit from Braden Walker. And this Lowell team continues to click on all sides of the football. They're going to get great field position taken over here. 1st and 10, 9:14 left in the 3rd quarter.
Lowell is playing spoiler right now at Andrean's final game of the season. They're pumped up from start to finish, and now coming out of halftime ready to go, and a nice smack in the mouth to get the ball back at 50-yard line. This could be a really good drive to really put them ahead now.
I guess they ruled it a reception, a forced fumble, so they're going to get about 4 free yards out of it and take over right at midfield, 1st and 10. Here's Riley Bank. He fakes. He'll run up the middle. Chased, eventually taken down.
Good keep.
That time by Antonio Barnes.
Definitely a good read on the defensive end. He's seen him crash, and he had to keep that one.
So he'll get 5 yards on that. Maybe 6. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the 44. You can just feel the energy of this place. Lowell has brought it all evening long. Momentum in their favor. They're up 7. We've been talking about the weather. If they can punch one in here, they could take commanding control of this game.
And no one's been able to stop their run at all this year.
Here's Bank. He'll turn, hand off to Thiel. Thiel with a good cut, puts his foot in the ground across the 40, inside the 40 to about the 36-yard line. You saw the way he got downhill, and that just quick cut, stuck his foot in the ground.
Jacob Kissel with a great lead block. He was moving about 7-8 yards down there, pushing the guy onto his back.
8:26 in running here left in the 3rd quarter.
Sticks are moving pretty frequently now. 8:15 left. We're already 4 minutes into the second half.
I don't know about you, Danny, but the way that Bank and Thiel have been running the ball, expect to see more of that. Bank just going to head right downhill, finds a little hole across the 35, close to the 30-yard line. A healthy gain of 7 yards there on 1st down, I should say. We'll bring up 2nd and short.
You can really see the confidence rising now. You know, Bank, he's not even looking for a block. He's got the ball and he's gone. He knows that he has no faith in the front 4 of Andrean of touching him at the line. He knows he's going to get 2 to 3.
Yeah, it's been some differing looks here from Andrean. We expected to see to start the game Miguel Rivera. I don't know that we've seen much of any of Miguel Rivera. Now out there, Angel Torres at the nose guard. They're trying to find the right recipe to slow this run game down of Lowell. Here's Bank. He'll turn and hand to Thiel. Thiel cuts up field across the 30-yard line, where he's met by a host of 59ers. Saw Charlie Copin, on the stop, the big defensive lineman. Only gain of about 2 yards. I believe that'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd and short. I've been noticing that Lowell's been snapping the ball around 13 to 15 seconds. Being that they have this lead right now and the clock's running and they're running the ball, I would be looking forward to snapping the ball more around 3.
That's a great call, Danny. Talk about shortening the game. And we're going to get a measurement, I believe, here. I thought it was going to be a 1st down upon my watching it. We don't have a great angle of it. We'll get a measurement here.
Being the chain gang was always fun. You get the best seat in the house, but the bad thing is you're usually in enemy territory.
And everybody now has eyes on you.
Yes. That was my only time getting on TV when I was on the chain gang. I was like, all right, look, there I am. Look how good I did.
And extending the chains. It looks like he got it. First down for Lowell with 6:53 left in the third quarter.
I've seen a lot of heads drop, a lot of slow walking on that Andrean defense. They're going to have to find something to stop this Lowell offense from moving down the field. They're just marching now.
Yeah, they're searching for answers. We talked about a minute ago, just the differing combinations, trying to get something to work up front. Bank has Thiel right behind him. Ooh, the right tackle leaning. Fortunately, didn't get a procedure penalty there. Bank will take the snap. Hill again, head straight forward. Finds a block, cuts up the field, finds a hole across the 20-yard line.
He's going to score!
Free to the 5. Touchdown, Lowell! And they take a 2-score lead with 6:44 left to go in the third quarter. Pending an extra point, 20-7 lead for Lowell.
Lowell now putting the ball in. The rain is starting to come down now. You're seeing sprinkles. This is not good for Andrean, being down 2 scores now with the weather approaching.
Riley Bank patient on that run. Took him an extra second to find that crease. Broke a tackle or two in the hole like you saw in that replay. And then it was all Bank speed for Riley Bank. His 17th rushing touchdown of the season. The extra point is up. It is good. And the visiting Lowell Red Devils have a 21-7 lead. We're going to take a break here. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back live where the rain has started to fall. It's starting to pick up with a little bit of intensity here between Lowell and Andrean. A 21-7 lead with 6:44 left to go in the third quarter. And you can just feel the energy on the Lowell sideline, especially as this rain comes down. We've talked about it. It favors Lowell. Everything lining up here for the Red Devils.
And Thiel's on the sideline. He's pacing. He's ready to go. He's not done, and he didn't even score that last touchdown.
So this kick is not as strong, but takes a fortunate bounce for Lowell. We'll get a kick return here. That's Jones. He cuts across. He's across the 20-yard line. He's running out wide. Does he have the angle to turn the corner? He does not. A good special teams tackle all the way on the far side of the field by Austin Zaya. We said his name several times here tonight. Special teams, offensively, he's doing it all over the field.
I see Andrean going back to the pass right here. Being down 2 scores, I don't think they even see the wind anymore. They know that they have to get that ball down the field.
I was going to say, I think they need to take advantage of Patrick Clax and Jacob Jones, their speed and skill on the outside. I know the rain's starting to fall, but it's only going to get harder. They got to take advantage right now here, midway through the third quarter. Here's Henry. He turns. He'll hand off to Bowen. Bowen patiently trying to run through a couple of tackles. He'll get up near the 30. It's brought down around the 29-yard line.
Lowell's front 6 is not having it. They're not going. Andrean is not going to run on that front 6. They're going to have to find a way to get something around the corner, or at least over the edge of the linebacker level.
So it'll be a gain of about 2 yards. They will give him the 30-yard line, a 2-yard gain from Bowen, who has not found much clean running space. I think we talked last possession. He got a 9-yard run. I think it was his longest of the game. The snap, Henry bobbles it, drops it. He boots out. He's got a man wide open.
Oh, couldn't hit him. Had blockers, too.
It was intended for Joe Kalakshi. He had a couple of blockers out in front of him, like you said, Danny. And that would have been a huge gain there for the 59ers if he could have held on. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 8.
Need to get those ones. Those are the ones that you can't get them back, but You really have to have those.
You saw Billy Henry having some trouble with that snap. It really just threw off the timing of the play. Got some pressure in his face, just could not get his tight end the ball.
Yeah, with that ball getting wet now and that way that wind's coming in, and it's right in his face.
It's really starting to come down out there. 5:51 left here in the third quarter, 3rd and 8. Henry takes the snap. It's going to be a screen out to Jones. Jones has a block. He's trying to get to the corner. Can he turn it? He cannot. He'll be tackled around the 35-yard line.
I think the rest of the game is going to be 4-down territory for Andrean.
We're going to see here. It's going to be 4th and about 2 or 3 yards. And the wind and the rain, what are they going to do?
Oh, they're bringing out the punt team.
The punt unit's going to come out. And if you're the Red Devils here, you are on high alert for any kind of hard count, trying to get them to jump off sides. Any offsides would be an automatic first. There wouldn't be an automatic first down. It would be a first down because we're inside of 5 yards.
Not a bad idea.
Also, just going to plant the idea, not a bad spot if you have a good fake in the playbook. Now they're going to end up actually having to take a delay game. They took way too long to decide whether they were going to go for it or not. That's a delay game. Talked about it. We were looking at it. Are they going to go for it? Are they going to bring out the punt unit? It took them like 20 seconds, and by the time they did, they're going to have to back it up 5, and now I think almost certainly they're going to have to punt the ball.
They called the timeout.
Oh, they did give him a timeout. Interesting. So if I'm Lowell, that tells me something. If they did take a time, no, they are backing him up.
Okay.
Because I was just going to say, if they did take a timeout, if you're Andrean, that should be a tell to Lowell that they really care about it.
Are they going to try for the Drake Bowen punt again?
That looks
the rugby punt?
It was our first punter of the game was Ethan Cost. He had a negative 3-yard punt his first try, and well, it's going to be Bowen once again for Andrean. A good snap back. Bowen with a nice punt.
Wow.
Keeps it pretty low, and having to let it drop on the return was C.J. Wright. Excuse me, not C.J. Wright, but Braden Walker.
You got to get away from that ball, kiddo.
So that will be Lowell taking over the possession at their own 35. Pretty good punt there. Going from the 30 to 35. That's a 35-yard punt. In this condition, into the wind, I think that's about all you could expect from the 59er side.
So Drake can run, pass, and kick.
What can't he do?
All right. How's your long division?
Riley Bank coming out. Again, coming off his first touchdown run of the game. It is really coming down out there, and I think the people that are having the most fun are the Lowell Red Devils. Here's Bank again. He's just going to head right up the middle, breaks a tackle. It's going to take 3 different Andrean defenders to bring him down across the 40-yard line to the 43.
9. We may end up having, the way Thielen and Bank is running, we might have 200-yard rushing games for both of them tonight, the way they're going.
They're probably both pretty close. Don't have exact stats, but
bet you they're around 70 to 80 at least apiece.
I think you're right on with that.
They average around 260 to 300 in between there.
It'll be 2nd and 2. A bunch to the left. A pistol formation for Bank and Thiel. Bank will hand to Thiel. He's brought down quickly right at the 45-yard line. This time brought down by Antonio Barnes. I believe he's just short of a first down here, so it's going to be 3rd down and a couple of inches. 3:50 and running left in the third quarter. And I'm sure as you could tell, it is really raining. I'd be stunned if at any point the rest of this game we see a ball go in the air for Lowell. They don't generally throw the ball very much anyways, Danny. I wouldn't think we'd see it pretty much the rest of the game.
No, I think they got their passes out in the first quarter.
Now 3rd and short. Bank takes the snap. He's going to head right ahead. He jots just to his right. Gets across that first down marker. A push up to the 49-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Red Devils.
There's going to have to be a switch on that defensive line. They're they're not playing gap defense, and Bank is allowed to just walk right through the A gap.
And we're seeing, again, it's Angel Torres, who we didn't necessarily expect to see a lot of at that nose tackle position. Also seeing a fair amount of Andrew Larson.
Torres, to his, he's been getting doubled the entire time. He's going to need those senior linebackers to really step up and fill those gaps.
And Danny, you well know we often get sent depth charts before these games to help broadcast these games. These are not the names we were necessarily expecting across the defensive line for the 59ers. Well, fresh set of downs. Here's Bank. He turns, hands to Thiel. Thiel cuts left, but he's brought down in the backfield. Good tackle around the ankles by Charlie Copen.
There was more on the edge that time. They had an 8 in the box on that one.
And if you're Andrean, I think that's got to be your plan. You have to
the rest of the game.
Lowell to throw the football.
Yes.
You've got to absolutely sell out here because this game's shortening quickly.
Bring your corners in and everything.
You man up on the outside and get 8 guys in the box, 9 guys in the box. And if you're Lowell, really the only response you can probably spread the field out a little bit. And that's what they look like they're going to try to do here. They send a couple of receivers out left. Showing a blitz. They're going to come. Banks going to keep it. He's hitting the back, trying to push forward. It was first contact made there by Joe Colaci. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Bowen looking like he's taking a couple deep breaths right there. I know that he's been asked to do a lot this game. Being now he has to really save this and try to get that ball back. He's got to be getting in these guys' heads to start ball hawking and really chainsawing that ball out of people's hands.
So 3rd and long, minute 29 left in the 3rd quarter. The wind squarely in the back of Lowell here. The rain continues to come down. Bank takes the snap. He looks. Now he's looking to run. Breaks one tackle. He's brought down from behind. Loss of about 3 yards. Getting the sack on that play will be Owen Olenek. So a punt upcoming here for Lowell with a minute 09 left in the 3rd.
He looked like he wanted to pass there.
It seemed like pretty quickly he wanted to tuck and run, but the fact that he even dropped back, I was a little bit surprised. Maybe he was trying to sell it. I think that's what our producer Nick's trying to tell us. Acting job.
I was shocked. My mouth dropped when I seen him drop back. I said, hey,
that's
wait a minute.
That's one of those, hey, bluff a pass, but do not throw the football. So punt formation.
3rd phase. Let's see what happens.
Jan Kosick back to do the punting duties. And a big block.
It's blocked!
A game-changing
3rd
play
phase again
by Jimmy Finley, who came right up the middle and blocked the punt for the 59ers. And they're set up at the 37-yard line.
That was untouched. Right through, no problem. Ended up putting that ball. I think that ball might have hit him in the stomach. He didn't have to use his hands.
He very nearly just took it off the punter's foot.
This is what Andrean needs. And now they're finally back in the opponent's side of the field. They need to really start putting that ball down. 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. They've got 12 minutes and 30 seconds to get 2 touchdowns.
So 30 seconds left with the wind in their face. I would assume we're going to see a run play here again. We talked about the strategy of this. They want to get out of this quarter where they've been having to play into the wind. Henry takes the snap. He's going to hand off to Bone, who takes a side step, moves forward across the 35, but stood up by a host of tacklers. In on the action is Chris Skinner.
And Brock Allen, my God. That was beautiful.
Great tackling all game long from Lowell. Been very impressed. I think
Drake's not easy to tackle.
I was going to say, other than a couple of plays where Drake Bowen just was the bigger guy on the field, I haven't really seen many missed tackles. That's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. A 21-7 lead for the Lowell Red Devils. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to game night on the Region Sports Network. We just had a massive turn in this game after 3 quarters. It's a 21-7 lead for Lowell, but a game-changing blocked punt by the 59ers. They were just kind of stuck in the mud, no pun intended here. Didn't seem like anything was going right for them. Huge block punt, prime position here at the 33-yard line to try to go narrow the score to a one-score game.
Finally, after all that time, they get the wind to their back, and the rain's in the face of Lowell now.
So the momentum has swung violently the way of the 59ers. Billy Henry takes a snap. He's looking. He fires a pass. That one wide of Clax. It'll be incomplete. 3rd and 10 upcoming. So again, a situation where this is probably 4-down territory. Got 2 plays here to get 10 yards if you're Andrean.
I think they got about 6 left to go, but they're going to need, it's third and short here, 3rd and 6. They haven't been able to run the ball up the middle. Honestly, Drake on a wheel route or Drake on a screen, get him in the open field and make people make one-on-one tackles with him.
Problem with the wheel, I think at this point we just haven't seen them been able to protect Henry that well. He's had pressure in his face pretty quickly.
Good point.
And we're going to get a running play here on 3rd down. Bowen, a little bit of miscommunication. He's hitting the backfield, breaks one tackle.
Still going.
Swings out to the right, can't quite make the 30. So it's going to be 4th and about 6 yards here.
He's making a miss, but the pursuit's just, it's there.
Almost certain that Andrean's going to go for it here at 4th and scoreboard says 7 right at the 30-04 line.
Andrean gets a bye week next week, so they've really got to start getting out there. Lowell, on the other hand, is going to be playing next week.
Mention it that they'll have to play in their first playoff game against Culver Academy. Here's Henry. He'll drop back to pass. He's looking deep. He throws. A little bit of miscommunication as his receiver on the far side, C.J. Wright, came on a comeback. Instead, it was a throw that looked like he was expecting a fly pattern, a turnover on downs. Lowell will take over.
This is where Coach Kilmer is going to start chewing that clock. We need to start, if they really want to pay attention, Bank needs to really start paying attention to the play clock. Stop leaving so much on there. You've got a 2-score lead. Chew it up properly like your parents taught you.
So 11 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. And after we thought we might have seen a game-changing play from Andrean, they can't capitalize, and now we're just going to see Lowell ground and pound here. They've got 3 backs in the backfield. Here's the handoff to Thiel. He puts his shoulder down, runs into one linebacker, gets across the 35, and he's brought down about the 36. A little pushing and shoving after the play with no whistle.
A little chippy out there. I like it.
So I think it'll pick up about a yard, maybe 2 yards, 3 yards. He'll bring up about 2nd and 7. I think you're getting your wish here. 20 seconds left on the play clock, and Lowell hasn't even broken the huddle yet. I'm sure that was a conversation on the sideline between Coach Kilmer and his quarterback.
I agree. They're still in the huddle. 10 seconds left. This is much better.
And it helps to have an experienced senior quarterback in Riley Bank. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. Bank takes the snap. It's going to be a QB power. We get a false start.
Ooh, I think we did on the left side.
So that's going to back up. Lowell, they're going to be 2nd and long here. It'll be 2nd about 13. With 10-10 to go in the 4th.
Playing behind the sticks now. You had the momentum. This is stuff you can't do. They're going to need another big run here to make it 3rd and manageable. Or Andrean's going to get the ball back and with some good field position.
2nd and 13. The one thing that does do, of course, is burns another 40 seconds. We've seen NFL teams, famous example of Mike Vrabel doing that against his old mentor when he was with the Titans against the Patriots. You don't want to move too far back if you're Lowell, but that will chew up some more time. Bank takes the snap. He fakes to wide open.
Wide open.
Field and caught for the 1st down. A catch made by Elijah Anderson. And we talked about it last possession, that Andrean had to sell out for the run. They did that just there. That is a ballsy decision on the part of Coach Kilmer. And they get a big first down out past the 45-yard line.
No one's seen him. He wasn't all that tall either, you know. You got Elijah Anderson's out there. Probably, we got Elijah's probably only about 5'10", if that. He snuck back there, and he was 10 yards behind the safety. I think Andrean brought 11 on that last one. Up the middle, Bank, he's going to get a first down.
So he's across the 45-yard line, brought down about the 44 with 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. He just continues to pick up strength, does the senior quarterback. It's pretty close to a first down, and they will give it a first down here with 9:02 to go. And the Lowell Red Devils are on the march.
Hiking the ball on 2 plays in a row, too. You think maybe they heard me?
Got to listen to Coach Danny up here. 15 seconds left on that play clock. Again, a full house backfield. Bank will go back under center. We saw him have some issues in the first half under center, none so far here in the second. Now he'll hand off to Thiel. A lot of bodies flinging around in the middle of the line there. Thought we might have saw the ball pop out, but it didn't.
It was just bodies.
This is going to be a rugby scrum for most of the rest of the game.
The rain coming down, Andrean's field's holding together nice, though.
Yeah, haven't had a whole lot of issues thus far. Rain's just coming down at pretty similar pace so far. Hasn't necessarily picked up or dropped off much.
Just enough to annoy you. Liquid sunshine.
Of course, in this cozy little booth opposite the home score box. Full house backfield again. Hand off to Thiel. Thiel with some room lowers his shoulder across the 40. Brought down at the 36. A couple of yards short of another first down.
They're gouging Andrean now, and with 7:44 left, they're taking the air out of the stadium. You're starting to see the student section for Andrean starting to clear out.
Keeping an eye, too, and just kind of the mixes that they're going with up front for the 59ers. It's been a few different options. We saw a couple of the big D tackles early in the game with offsides problems. This is not the tune-up that I think Coach Chris Skinner was expecting for his team here at home on Senior Day. Taking the snap, again to hand off to Thiel, off the left tackle, cuts. He fights through a tackle, but holding on tight there with Jimmy Finley for the 59ers. Will that be enough for first down? Awfully close.
That was a little off the edge right there, but they came in cleaning up. Andrean's got a few guys out that are still ready to bang. I like the patience, though, on Thiel. He knows that he's been carrying the ball probably around 18 times now this game, and the way he's playing, he probably wants another 8 more.
Fourth and inches here at the 35-yard line. They're just going to sneak it up. Again, a rugby scrum and breaking through his bank across the 30-yard line, inside the 30. Fresh set of downs with 6:27 left in the fourth quarter.
Really taking the air out of the stadium now. They were looking for an inch, and they got feet. That was a good 4 or 5 yards they added onto that.
I think we're getting a pretty good idea who's going to be our Crowell Company's Lantern superhero of the game. We'll name it here in just a couple of minutes. But the hard-working tandem of Riley Bank, and Thiel will be getting it done all night for the Red Devils.
It's definitely been the Bank and Thiel show.
Keeping an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard here. The Chesterton Trojans with an 18-point lead over the Merrillville Pirates.
Wow.
That's quite the upset currently going on. Not too far from here. Hobart has taken control 35-0 over Munster. And another potential upset with Lake Central. Up 14-6 over Valpo. We got an injury. We're going to take a quick timeout. Come back here in just a couple of moments. You're watching the Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop. City Electric Supply in Valpo is proud to support local athletes on the Region Sports Network. City Electric Supply in Valpo offers LED lighting, generators, tools, electrical supplies, and more. Call City Electric Supply in Valpo at 219-386-3434. That's City Electric Supply in Valpo, the power to supply you.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Welcome back as an injury stoppage. Did see injured player couldn't quite make out the number. The visibility is starting to deteriorate, but did see him get off the field, so hopefully he's all right. And clock will resume, 5:50 and counting. 2nd and 6. Bank under center. 3 backs behind him. Takes the snap, turns, tosses to Thiel. Thiel could be a holding there on the tight end. No call. We're going to keep playing, and Thiel's going to fall forward. Here, another first down.
Chippy out there now. We're going to start seeing a little bit of extra blocking.
Getting sloppy. That is a first down, so inside the yard line. And Lowell, you said it perfectly, really taking the air out of this game, out of the stadium. At least on the Andrean side. Plenty of air over here on the Lowell side.
These fans are packed, too. There isn't an open seat on the Lowell side. You might find a 1 or 2.
Oh, you're right. It's a really good turnout here from Lowell. Their full house backfield. Bank takes the snap, hands to Thiel. Thiel picks his way across the 15. We're going to get a holding call right in the middle of the offensive line, so that's going to slow down the momentum a little bit here for Lowell. And they'll be backed up 1st and 20 here.
You don't want to start making mistakes now. Finish the game strong. I knew there was going to be some extra blocking, though.
Yep, it's gotten physical. We've got no receivers left in the game for Lowell. It's been all linemen, tight ends, and fullbacks and a tailback. They've completely abandoned that part of the game, and I'd say now it's raining just about as hard as it has all evening. We picked up just a little bit here in the last 5 minutes. So the holding call sets Lowell back. It'll be 1st and 18.
See if they go wide. They're in the power right. They've been running to the power side.
It's going to be a power by Bank. Bank bounces off a couple of would-be tacklers, brought down around the 20. Marked down at the 21 here. Inside of 4.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. A 2-score lead for Lowell and complete control of this game. Unless something crazy happens, they look well on their way to tying this Andrean team in the Northwest Crossroads. 4-1 each.
That will make it a little, that would be kind of odd now. Is Hobart 4-1 as well in the conference? So that's a 3-way tie. That is
interesting to sort out. It is really coming
Hobart beat
down
Lowell,
now.
Lowell beat Andrean, Andrean beat Hobart.
That would be, 3 co-champions of the conference. So
we'll see how that plays out.
Now inside the 20, it is just dumping at this point.
I'm sure the Hobart fans are listening in or watching to make sure that they're finding out what Andrean's doing.
I don't know about you, but getting reminiscent about that Bears 49ers game to open the season at Soldier Field when right in time when the Bears needed it, the heavens opened up and they were able to ice the rest of that game.
Yep.
Kind of feeling like what's happening here. It'll be 3rd and 11 here, 3:20 remaining in the 4th. Bank gets a man to jump. They're going to be offsides.
Wow.
So they're going to get 5 free. They're going to get to 3rd and 6, and that'll bring them inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line.
They get this first down, it's over. They're going to get that insurance. You don't want those mistakes at the end. You're really trying your best to get the ball back and just to let that team keep driving, and you're just keeping them alive with these little mistakes.
Stay with the Region Sports after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. The RSN crew will be on hand to recap all of tonight's action from around the region. 3rd and 5, biggest play of the game. Here's Bank. He'll keep it himself. He's picking through tacklers, breaks one, carrying a couple more near the 5. I believe that's going to be a first down. And you called it, Danny. That will all but ice this one. And we'll see if they try to punch it in to really put a stamp on this game. Credit to this offensive line who was creating holes all game long. We mentioned them at the beginning. James Langan, Brett Thiel, Jake Kissel, Carter Patterson, and Braden Quayle. They absolutely got the job done tonight.
Got about 8 more plays left in this game. If they can keep going the way they are, I honestly don't see why Lowell wouldn't want to put another one in here rather than let the time run out. They really want to stick it to Andrean.
1st and 10 at the 6. Bank under center. Hands off to Thiel. Thiel brought
Look
down
at the
around
block
3.
out there.
They're still fighting, and a timeout's going to be taken by Andrean with 2:07 left to go in the 4th quarter. Excuse me. No, it had to have been on Andrean. Initial incorrect signal.
Number 55 for Lowell. James Langan. That's like the 3rd pancake I've seen him do this game.
And James Langan, of course, was the one that picked up that blocked punt and took it into the end zone with 14 seconds left in the game, which was arguably the biggest moment of the game. We'll recap that all for you on the post game, but Lowell coming in and going to pull the upset here tonight, it sure looks like. 2:07 remaining. 59ers are starting to have to use their timeouts, but in this weather, it's hard to imagine anyone finding 2 scores, especially they'll be into the wind with this rain.
It's tough getting one the way that front 6 is for Lowell. They're getting too much pressure, and they're not giving any room for anybody to make any offensive maneuvers.
So it'll be 2nd and goal, about the 4-yard line for Lowell when they come back out. The 1-2 punch of Bank and Thiel. It's what we expected to see a lot of. I think we saw a few more passes than we might have expected from Lowell tonight. They came out those first couple of plays through a couple of passes.
Really surprised me, being that they only completed 35 passes all year. They probably completed or at least attempted 8 to 10 this game right here. Now that's, like, you could say that's around their average, but they went out really quick knowing at the end of the game they're going to have to run.
Here's Bank. Lowell looking to put an exclamation mark on this game. Bank takes the snap, hands off to Thiel. Thiel pushing his way forward. He'll be brought down around the 2-yard line. And a 2nd timeout will be taken by the 59ers with 1:58 remaining in the 4th.
3rd and really short.
We're inside about the 2-yard line. It will be 3rd and goal after this timeout.
If I'm Kilmer, I'm putting it in and quarterback sneak.
I think regardless, you're going to see 2 run plays here, whether it's by Bank or Thiel. And then the absolute worst-case scenario, if they get stopped, you got 98 yards to go if you're the 49ers, and you got to find it twice. So,
if I'm Bank, I'm not handing it off at all. I'm not risking any fumble at all. I'm keeping that ball. If you get me in a sack, hey, it is what it is. Use another timeout.
So 1:58 to go. Lowell, like we said, trying to move to 6-3 and have that pretty crazy 3-way tie at the top of the standings in the Northwest Crossroads. The Lowell faithful can feel it. They're cheering, they're chanting. They want this last one to put the cherry on top. Here's Bank. He's under center. He turns. He hands to Thiel. Thiel makes a man miss. Reaches for the goal line. He scores!
He's in.
Owen Thiel breaks the goal line and makes it a 3-score game. The Red Devils are going to come into Andrean's home field on a sloppy second half, and they're going to come out with a victory.
This was dominating. After Andrean came out right off the bat, they really started, they took the air out really quick, and they started seeing everybody on the Andrean side getting amped up. They were ready to go. Lowell with that march all the way down the field. I think it was a 85-yard march, maybe a 75. That's a long way to go, and then they pull that off. It was downhill after that.
Extra point up and good. We're going to break. Come back in just a moment. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. We were just talking off air for a minute, Danny. I think the key to the game for us as we look back on it, Andrean was just never able to get their passing game going. I think I can think of 5 or 6 completions, definitely under 100 yards, I'd say, in the air. Not what we expected tonight.
At all. They only took maybe 2 shots downfield. One of them completed. The other one was overthrown into the wind. Honestly, I'm shocked that they didn't pass more.
So both these teams will head towards the playoffs. Lowell with all the momentum as they head into their first playoff game next week, whereas the 59ers will have a bye next week. So they'll have an extra week to get things together. Here's Jones with some speed. He's across the 30-yard line, breaks a tackle. He's in the open field across
he's
the 40,
gone.
Across the 50. Is anyone going to catch Jones? The kicker able to pull him
The
down
kicker
across the 30.
and it's going to be a horse collar on the kicker, which is going to tack on another 15.
Caden Britton able to bring him down at the 30, I'll call it the 29-yard line. It's going to be an extra 14 yards here as they're inside the 30, so it'll be half the distance. So thought Jones was going to run away from Britton there. Britton, credit to him. He got the wheels moving, able to keep him out of the end zone.
I think they picked up that flag. Nope, they're walking it. They're walking it.
So 1:41 to go. They're down 3 scores. Crazier things have happened, especially, I will say, Danny, the one thing that plays to the 59ers' advantage here is there's ever a night where it's a little bit easier to get an onside kick. It's a night like this. It's sloppy, it's wet, it's hard to fall on the football if you're Lowell. If they can punch this in quickly, let's see how weird this can get here in the fourth quarter.
Find the kid without the gloves and kick it right to him.
So 1:41 to go. They'll start with the ball at the 13-yard line. Billy Henry looks to the sideline. He's going to change the play. He takes a snap. He looks right.
He's got Bowen.
Looking for Clax. Clax catches it. He breaks a tackle. He's going to get into the end zone. Will it be a touchdown? It will.
Clax with a second.
One play, and they're able to get a touchdown. 1:34 to go in the fourth quarter. Clax's second touchdown catching of the game. Billy Henry's second throw is 19th on the season.
They've thrown to Clax 3 times. He's got 2 touchdowns.
That's a pretty good conversion number, I'd say.
66%, buddy.
Go that way a little bit more, right?
Yeah, they got 1:34 to think about it.
So don't go anywhere, folks. Like we said, this is going to be an interesting onside kick. If there's ever a day that plays to the kicking team's advantage, it's a day like this. Here's the extra point. Hold is down. Kick is iffy, but I believe...
No good.
Missed it wide left. So that adds an interesting element here as we move along.
Just really makes it even tougher for Andrean.
So onside kick coming. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back here to Father Eckert Stadium, where this game was running away, and all of a sudden a little bit interesting here. With 1:34 to go in the fourth quarter, Andrean does lead, or trail by 2 touchdowns. But an onside kick coming, and that is poor conditions as you could possibly have on a football field.
There's 3 right in the middle with no gloves on. Those are the ones I'm picking.
So P.J. Cusick, the sophomore kicker, going to be in charge of trying to find a way to get this football back for the 59ers. This is a pretty good kick. Will it go far enough?
It didn't go far enough.
And that's the one thing you could not have if you were 59ers. You got to get that ball in play, and with a weird bounce and a wet field. So that will all but ice this game. They do have, I think, only one timeout left as Andrean. I don't think the scoreboard's correct on that. Thought they took 2 down on the goal line. It's 1 or 2. Regardless, I don't think they're going to be able to get the ball back.
Nope. They're definitely running it out on this one. But this is good for Lowell. They're going into a playoff next week. They want to start their sectional off really well, and by beating a team like Andrean going into that, they're going to be motivated to start maybe thinking about taking this sectional title home.
So the victory formation here for Lowell. Bank, rightfully so, is going to take the ball. He's going to take a knee. And that will do it for us. A big-time game. From Riley Bank, Owen Thiel as well. Phenomenal performance across the offensive line. Don't forget, too, of course, that big pass play. Elijah Anderson, the tight end, that only completed pass here in the second half, but led to a huge first down. I believe it was 2nd and 14 when he caught that pass to get a first down as part of that, I think it was close to 8-minute drive that Lowell just chewed the fourth quarter. 54 seconds and counting here in the fourth. I think with one more kneel down, if Bank times it right, that should be it. Bank takes the snap, takes a knee.
A great job by the officiating crew tonight as well. They're out there in the elements with these guys too, and I didn't see barely any bad calls, if any.
Yeah, very well officiated game. Completely agree with you, Danny. And 30 seconds left. That's going to do it. They're not going to have to run another play, will Lowell. They're going to win this game. Their season finale. It'll get them a share of a conference title as well. 28-13, your final score here from Father Deckard Stadium on the campus of Andrean High School. We're going to take a timeout, wrap things up here in just a couple of moments. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to the post-game show here on the Region Sports Network. Thank you for tuning in with us all game long. Stay with us, the Region Sports, after the game as we send it back to the Centier Bank studio. The RSN crew will be on hand to recap all of tonight's action from around the region. And Danny, as we saw, a few upsets, some definite things to talk about back at the studio tonight. Here tonight, this game here between Andrean and Lowell. First, I want to award our Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. It's time to name that great award for Crowell Companies. Have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. So tonight, the Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game, Riley Bank, leading this offense the entire night. A couple of touchdowns for him as well, and the senior leading this team brilliantly tonight.
Leader took the team on his shoulder. He had no problem putting them up there, and he was dragging people 3, 4, 5 yards. He is easily the pick for that.
Of course, you got to name a blue collar as well, and that one also I think came pretty easy for us. It's time to name that blue collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. The blue collar player of the game tonight. As you could probably imagine, Owen Thiel got it done all night in the backfield, running hard. A couple of touchdowns for him as well. An outstanding game for that junior running back.
Yeah, coming into this game, the talk of the town was Drake, and he was going to be the guy that was going to make all the plays. And honestly, with the front six of the defense, they really helped Thiel shine tonight, and he was the running back of the night. He took the shine away from Drake and really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, Lowell was really never able, or I should say, Andrean was never really able to get the run game going against this Lowell front six. You talked about it throughout the entire game, how stout they were across the defensive line and that linebacking core. Outstanding job. Finally, our proud Union home play of the game. I think we had pretty unanimous consent on this. It's time to name that proud Union home play of the game, presented by IKORCC, the Indian Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. And that, for us, came pretty easily. The blocked punt at the end of that first half changed the entire complexion of the game. It was eventually picked up by James Langan and brought into the end zone for a touchdown. As you're going to get to see a replay of it here again, the entire exchange we didn't totally understand from the Andrean side, or from the Lowell side at first, I should say. And Andrean does this kind of wildcat look back into the punting formation, and off his own man, it was Drake Bowen, who had the punt blocked, picked up. And
Squirts out right there, and we thought it was down, and then it ended up going into the end zone, and they scooped it up, and that was easily the play of the game.
As your proud Union home play of the game. That will do it for us here from Father Eckert Stadium on Andrean High School's campus. I want to thank our great crew here tonight. Back at the studio, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our coordinating producer, Nathan Laird. And of course, our game producer, Nick Russ, did a great job with all the replays, the breaks, guiding us through the entire process. Scott Stessel on the video. I want to thank Andrean's athletic director, Mike Schultz, as well, along with Coach Kilmer and Coach Skinner from Lowell and Andrean, respectively. To all our viewers on Facebook.com/Region Sports, we thank you. For Danny Bell, I'm Max Anderson. Thank you so much for tuning in. Playoff football starts next week. Make sure you tune in right here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.